everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. So we're coming into a very slow week, expecting a slow week. Traditionally, this is a very slow week. Hopefully, the following Monday we'll start seeing volume come back in. Still, a lot of parents, getting back into the routine of school with their kids, trying to get set into that routine. And plus, there is a Jewish holiday. In this video, we do have Adobe and Oracle reporting this week. But in this video, of course, we're going to do our weekly review. But we have added some industry charts for the energy sector because we've been tracking that cup and handle on the crude chart. Got that nice breakout, looking for that pullback. So definitely got energy on the radar this week. So we're going to take a good look into the industries of the energy sector. We're going to talk about some of those names in those industries, and of course, we added some of our favorite energy names as well. Being options traders, not all stocks have not all stocks trade options, but not all stocks have good options liquidity. So we're only going to call out the names that we know that we can trade with options. So let's start looking at the charts here. You can see our breadth did move actually cool off a little bit on Friday. Not breadth, but put the call ratio. So we moved into the bear zone last week. And we're still into the bear zone, but you can see that we did cool off. Not extremely bearish like we were. So we are back at 105. And this is our first industrial chart. You can see how nice this chart looks, getting above the volume profile. Has room to move up here. So this is the equipment and oil and equipment sector, and we have a couple names in this sector. Halliburton, BKR, and SLB are all tradable. They are names that we have traded before. Make sure you are checking your liquidity on those names and make sure that you have enough liquidity for you to get in and out of your trades. But very nice looking chart there. So oscillators for the NASDAQ down here at -88 and the New York Stock Exchange at -51. We can see we closed with a bearish Rami on SPX last week on the weekly time frame. So the market's been struggling. We've been expecting the market to pull back, but we did get a nice move back above that 9. The previous week, last week, definitely was a little different, and the market did try to move lower. So see what we get this week. Looks like you might be able to get a trend line in that area right there that could offer some support. Breadth did close positive, barely, but we did close positive 146 on Friday, so that's a good sign. The U.S. dollar still trying to push higher. The VIX still trading fairly weak. Nice bear flag break last week, and Friday closed back below that daily 9. So I'm looking for follow through on this chart. The Bollinger Bands and MACD both suggesting more downside. You even see the RSI cooling off. This is our crude chart. We are trading with a really nice contraction pattern here as of right now. These two candles are trading within this candle. So we're watching a box as drawn on the thumbnail. So watching that little contraction pattern to see how we act. It may hang out, wait on the 9 for a few more days, but when it does, we need to have those energy names on the radar and be ready for the breakouts. Apple did gap up on Friday and could not take out that daily 9, and you can see rejected there at the daily. At the daily 20. You see Apple intraday here, pretty tight action on Friday. Gold is giving back that move. We are now under the all our major moving averages except for that 200. See if we get a move down. You can almost see a small head and shoulders trying to be put in there. It's a bearish looking chart. The advanced decline lines. So we can see the mid caps try to turn up a little bit on Friday, and the S&P 500 tried to turn up a little bit on Friday. The S&P 500 was definitely stronger. Small caps are the weakest out of that bunch. So you got the NASDAQ. You got the New York Stock Exchange, the S&P, the SPX, and the S&P 500. Mid caps, S&P mid caps, and S&P small caps. So definitely see a little more strength, definitely more weakness into the small caps there. Would like to have seen a better move than that. Now, AMC getting slammed down, just dilutions. AMD, big rejection on Friday, nice downtrend there. Amazon still holding on a daily chart here, green candle, one of the better looking charts out there right now. Still holding above all the major moving averages, still above the 9 and 20, and this candle actually closed right up there above this wick. So see if we can get a move up tomorrow. If the market gaps up, see how it acts. RK Arcade tried to bounce off this 9. You can see we had a low close candle on Friday. Let's keep an eye on Arcade tomorrow and see what it does for our growth stocks. AMD struggling here at the 9 and 20 on the daily. So we need to watch those levels. Those levels need to be cleared. We clear those, we can look for a move. AMD weekly still trading in that falling wedge. Amazon, this is the 15-minute time frame. You can see the small now. Either way, it just pretty tight action up here. It really never broke below. You can see this level right here, this candle line. Could never clear that area and end up pushing back up. If it could have cleared that, maybe setting up for a move down there. Amazon weekly still at that resistance level. That level needs to be cleared. Apple weekly, ugly bearish engulfing candle there. You can see the buyer did take back a little bit of it, but that's a very ugly candle. Let's see how we act. Tomorrow, Boeing. Boeing, we were expecting some bearishness here. We cleared our box, moving lower there, and just drew the box. This wasn't quite a double top, but you can see it still hanging out in that trading range. So we had this box drawn just because of that. We were able to come down, take that box out, and move lower. Sometimes all you have to do is draw the box and wait for your breakout, especially if you can spot a trading range. Bitcoin weekly chart trying to trade lower. Let's take a look at the daily. You can see this thing is just drifting lower there in a big old bear flag. Ugliness. So communication sector still holding in, but we are under the daily 9, above the 20 and 50. Consumer staples, bear flagging here. See how we act when that 9 comes down. Not a lot of power heading up. Not saying it can't pop, but let's keep a close eye on that for a possible move lower. DraftKings is perking back up. It happens to be that time of year. We always watch DraftKings coming into the fall. So here we have the exploration sector. So your exploration sector has a bullish pattern here called a rising 3 on a daily chart. So with inside your exploration sector, we have a lot of names like VLO and CRK, LNG, EQT, DBN, and Oxy, names that we trade. We know have enough liquidity that we can move in and out of. Be careful with CRK. I'd like that name, but I've never actually traded options for that. Very nice looking chart here, very bullish, trying to get above the volume profile. If we can continue the breakout on crude, we can definitely move higher, especially with that contraction pattern. Remember, contraction, expansion, trend. And this is the integrated oil and gas sector. And once again, you can see a very strong move higher, very nice move. And this contains charts like, or stocks like MPC, MRO, ExxonMobil, HES, COP, SU, CVX, and CVE, all names that are tradable with options. Please make sure you check the options liquidity and make sure it's enough liquidity for you and your strategies and your style to be trading. But this one does have resistance up here. You can see this big tower topish pattern up here that was like a wall when we got up here. And you can see the volume profile up here. Definitely not as heavy volume profile as here, but I would expect some pretty big resistance in that area. And we are moving higher. So let's keep an eye on that as well as we're trading. So for the names that we could be looking to choose for energy, you know, could possibly be looking at, just looking at these charts, knowing that some of these names are getting ready to come up into some resistance and some are not coming up into some resistance, so, have more room to move. So let's just keep that in mind. There's definitely room here to make money as of now. You are over 80 up here, so we have $8-9 to move higher. So we definitely have room to move to make money. Lilly breaking out of this contraction pattern. These moving averages look really good here. Chart does look like it wants to go higher. We're seeing money come into I'm sorry, that's the RSI. I thought it was CFM. So RSI, definitely strong. And this is why I don't watch the RSI a lot, because it confuses people. So when I'm like if I was in the Discord calling the RSI out, this is what I want to see. And this is where everybody's been trained to sell, sell, sell. This is what I want to see. Those are stocks that I go after. When I see an RSI that's strong, that's what I want. I want relative strength in my stock. We were looking for this MACD to cross. ExxonMobil trading in this cup here. You can see we're heading up into some resistance on this name. This may have to pull back and put in a handle. Hopefully it will break out. But be careful if it breaks out. Normally, if we break out without putting in a handle, it has this ladle move. It'll push up higher and then lay right back on the breakout area before pushing higher. It end up looking like a ladle type handle on it. Google is another great looking chart, pushing higher here, still respecting the 9. You can see this little flag break we got on Friday. We talked about this chart on Wednesday's video, talking about how nice looking of a chart that is. Home Depot on the daily barely, but did close back above the 9. We can see this little hammer candle on the off the weekly 9. So last week we did confirm over this resistance that we were struggling with, but some of that was some hurricane news coming in, and Home Depot likes to do good during hurricanes. But you can see this week, or should say last week, they pulled it all the way down to the daily 9 or the weekly 9. The buyers were able to come back in and lift it up, giving us a little hammer candle off that 9. So let's keep an eye on Home Depot this week with another hurricane brewing. IWM chopping sideways and the 15 intraday chart. The Qs back below the daily 9. We were not able to close back above that on Friday. Pretty tight range there. You can see that we are holding that 50-day. That candle did close above that 50-day for support. Keep an eye on this MACD. This MACD to me looks like right now, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but right now it looks like it could be trying to open back up. And put a little eyeball right there. You got a small goose head. See if we can get that beak to open up. Qs intraday, you can see how tight the action was on Friday. That 15-minute 200 was pretty much a wall there. If we go back to the Qs on the weekly, we are still holding this weekly 9. So it's a good look to be super bullish. So obviously we trade intraday charts, and we can trade those charts pretty easily. But if I was looking to trade off of the weekly time frame, I wouldn't want to trade this candle. If I was looking for a long-term trade, I would not want to enter this to the upside until it clears that candle. To the downside, I got to be below that 20 on that weekly. JP Morgan, you can see this little contraction pattern we are breaking out of, moving lower. You see how this whole pattern traded within the range of this candle right here. So that makes that a contraction pattern. All these candles trading within that range, so we're looking to break out of that box. Got that confirmation on the daily for a move lower. A Merck. So you can see this little downtrend here looking for a break. You do have that 200 there. Needs to be cleared. Definitely looking perky. Watch that. Still a head and shoulders pattern that did confirm out of and has never really broken lower. Just looks like it wants to trade sideways. But there is a hefty trend line there. If we can break that trend line, look for a move. Meta, so your 9's turning up. You got your 50 there. Meta intraday. So you can see this big tower top on the 15 that we had on Friday provided a very nice move there. And you can see on Thursday, using your blended candle method, you have a very nice evening star there that actually closes below, giving a big move down. And so that candle strong, bullish coming in, you got your star, and then you have a smaller bearish engulfing candle than this next bearish engulfing candle. You can blend those two candles together, count them as one candle, and it gives you a nice pattern. Microsoft back above the 50 there. Need to clear this area right there for a move higher. Not a bad looking chart back above that 50. You can see Microsoft here on Friday night. Very nice move higher and chopped after the first 15 minutes. Microsoft weekly, that's a great looking chart. This 9 looks like it wants to turn up and go. Bands are pinching in. This chart is setting up for a move. See what we get. See your bands are pinching. We know how they act. We know exactly what to look for. We'll talk about that on a daily basis. Let's keep an eye on those. NVIDIA holding our 200. I'm sorry, holding our 50 under the 20. Stuck in between two moving averages. The video on the intraday, you can see the nice move downtrend there on Friday. NVIDIA still holding your weekly 9. Still not a bad looking chart. They look like they want to move higher. You can put your little eyeball right there. Still got a goose head. We are losing this daily MACD here. You can see the RSI starting to cool off on NVIDIA's weekly. NASDAQ still holding that daily 20 there. Netflix flagging back into the 9. You can see we're back into some volume profile here. So it's just letting us know a lot's traded in this area, and we can see that just looking by the price action without the volume profile, we can see what's been trading in this area. You see a lot of action, a lot of shares were traded. That's what this bar is telling us. So there's a lot of buyers and sellers, a lot of stuff was bought in there. There could be a lot of support and resistance in there. So if we can clear this level, we can see a nice move up. Watch this candle. We get up here, we got to clear that. If this does pop, we got to clear this candle right here. I believe that was an earnings move or something like that. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. So this is Oxy. Oxy's following crude pretty good. It's not broken out of the cup and handle yet, but you can see the cup and handle. It actually did break out last week and then come back in. So it broke out, come back in search of that 9. Nice cup and handle. See if we can get back above that resistance level. This is definitely one to watch. You can see the volume profile lightening up there. This is QQQ monthly. You can see we are expecting a little handle to put in on this cup. So, I know it's not been the easiest to trade, but the market's actually doing exactly what we want. When you look at these higher time frames, you go back and watch your videos, you'll see the market's doing exactly what we've been talking about for weeks. It's not the easiest thing to trade. There is opportunities to make money in this market, but you have to be pickier with your setups and apply discipline to your trading, which discipline is the key to success in trading anyway. We all know that. SPX, this is SPX daily. Still holding your daily 20 up there. SLB flagging back into the 9. Nice looking chart. This is in the oil and equipment sector. That's right. So we definitely want to watch this one this week. Nice looking chart. We know the oil and equipment industry sector itself looks really good. Not a whole lot of resistance above us. All right, so this is SMH on the weekly chart. Last week we closed with a slightly bullish Rami, maybe slightly. Almost a king and queen candle up here, almost matching candles. Either way, possible lower high here with that China chip news coming in and the investigations going on within the semi sector. I'm almost positive we're not going to see AMD in the video get called up into that, but I'm sure some of the smaller names, if there was technology leaked, and it looks like there most likely was, if there was technology leaked, then the chip sector may be getting punished. So we just put a little note here marking that candle just to see where we go. The diamond below all the major moving averages except for the 200 there, looking weak. The SPY on the weekly chart, we have a bearish Rami last week we closed on. On the monthly chart, we're pulling back in to put our handle in. It's exactly what we had talked about. Here on SPY Daily, we are still under the 50-day and the 9s up there above the 20. Still watching the head and shoulders pattern. Intraday, Friday, you can see some really tight action. Actually pretty tight Thursday and Friday. A square, big move down on Friday. That's a very nice candle. See if we can get follow through off that candle down here. Very nice bearish engulfing candle there. Or bearish candles, not actually, it didn't engulf the previous candle. Tesla, a nice move lower as well on the intraday chart. XLK, we can see XLK is between the 9 and the 50 there. The 20 is down there acting as a support level. Tesla, this is the weekly chart. We are still below this weekly 9. This chart doesn't look quite as good as some of the other weekly charts, but if we can still reclaim that 9, just not crazy about the angle of that 9. Prefer the ones that are more flat. Tesla on the daily, you can see this 50-day needs to be cleared. Big rejection there. If we can clear that, look for a move higher. We were expecting a little bit of chop there this coming into this week, like it needed to do some ranging, and that's exactly what it's been doing. Uber, nice push here, nice flag break up off the 9. See if we get follow through on that. This right here is target 1. This candle line, we need to clear that for a move higher. So see if there's room to make money there. Probably get some small short trades in, short-term trades to the upside. Maybe we can gap over that level tomorrow. We definitely got some resistance up here. You can see it there in the volume profile. Walmart, a nice move higher there as well. It's a nice looking chart. Look how well it's respecting that 9 on your daily time frame. XLF, Struggling there with the 20, in between the 20 and the daily 9. Bonds still weak, back up to the 9 on the daily. It's looking for a rejection there. IWM on the weekly time frame, you can see here that we did close below your weekly 20. Just 250 we're coming into that area for support. And IWM on the daily, got this 200 there for support, looking really weak, which we know the advanced decline lines on the small caps were weaker. Well, I hope we find this video helpful, and as always, discipline is the key to success in trading, and I'll see you in the trading room. Have a great night.